Hello, my name is Garrison Allred. This is my ID. If you'll give me a second, I'll flip the laptop around. As you can see, I have two members in my audience. They are sitting rather far apart, so I don't think masks are needed. And thank you for sitting down, watching my speech. I'll go ahead and start. "40 years ago, Mount St. Helens cataclysmically erupted. A high-speed blast leveled millions of trees and ripped soil from bedrock. The eruption fed a towering plume of ash for more than 9 hours, and winds carried the ash hundreds of miles away. The volcanic mudflows destroyed forests, bridges, roads, and buildings. These catastrophic events led to 57 deaths, the worst volcanic disaster in the recorded history of the United States. This was the introduction of an article written by the USGS, the U.S. Geological Survey, on May 4th of this year. The USGS refers to this event as a catastrophe, a tragedy, an event that changed the future of volcanology. All the damage caused by Mount St. Helens is only a fraction of what I will be talking about with you today. So, the Yellowstone caldera is a volcano that people have been watching rather closely. But what is it exactly? What's up with Yellowstone, and what kind of a volcano is it? And lastly, why is the supervolcano so important? My speech today is about the dangers of Yellowstone. Now, this is important to be aware of because Yellowstone is a ticking time bomb in America's backyard in Wyoming. Now, in this presentation, all of my information has come from the USGS, the United States Geological Survey, or other sources that have worked with people affiliated with the USGS. Today I'll be talking about what the Yellowstone caldera is exactly, and why is Yellowstone so dangerous. So we all know that Yellowstone is a volcano, but what kind of volcano is it? Now, the USGS says that there are 4 types of volcanoes. As you can see here, there are cinder cone volcanoes, composite volcanoes, shield and lava domes. But the Yellowstone caldera isn't any one of these 4. It's actually called a supervolcano. So what makes a supervolcano? What is a supervolcano? Well, the USGS says that the term supervolcano implies a volcanic center that has had an eruption of magnitude 8 on the volcano explosivity index, or short, I'll just show you here, the VEI. Also, a magnitude 8 is also the highest point of this index. And for comparison, the catastrophic event of Mount St. Helens in 1980, May 18th, was only a 4. The explosion was only a magnitude of 4. You can see here, this is about the size of a grape. This dot for Mount St. Helens is about the size of a grape. And this big one in the back is a magnitude 8, or that's how big the explosion was for Yellowstone back 600,000 years ago. Now, explosive events of this size erupt so much magma that a circular shape collapse feature called a caldera forms above the evacuated magma storage region. Well, that's a quote from the from the USGS. But what does that mean? Well, it means that the last time the Yellowstone caldera exploded so intensely that it left a crater the size of about 30 to 45 miles. And today, when we look at it, we call it the caldera because we think it's actually a valley between mountains. No, it is actually a crater from where the explosion happened 600,000 years ago. Now that I have explained what qualifies as a supervolcano, let's go to the next question. Why is it so dangerous? Well, other than the fact of the eruption itself, scientists believe that Yellowstone's next eruption could be incredibly devastating. Brad Plumer, author from the website Vox, says he worked with someone from the USGS, offers this chart. Now, what is this chart? In this article that he wrote on December 15th, 2014, says that the next eruption is capable of burying states like Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, and Montana in 3 feet of volcanic ash. That's around anywhere between the dark purple to the pinkish area. Not to mention, beyond those states, out here, it could cover, it will not just cover, it would blanket the Midwest. Now, the ash alone would be detrimental to America because the bread bowl would be covered in a blanket of ash, rendering the plant life useless. Moreover, that much volcanic ash would kill farms, cause respiratory issues to anyone living in the United States. And this is just in the US. Now, let's zoom out a bit. Let's think about the global issues that could happen. Well, the first global problem would be a cool down in the global climate because the volcanoes can erupt sulfur aerosols that would reflect sunlight. In light of all the global warming issues we have, you'd think that would be a good thing, but no. No. The author compares this possible scenario to another volcanic eruption in the past, the Tambora explosion back in 1815, and the ash cooled down, and the aftermath, the ash of that eruption, cooled down the earth so much that it damaged crops worldwide and led to some famines. So now, almost everything I have claimed about the Yellowstone caldera is all just a theory. It is impossible to accurately determine when the next eruption will be or the severity of it. Not many people are assuming the worst case scenario, but no one is denying that it is a possibility. The caldera is a ticking time bomb, and no one really knows when or how it will go off. To recap the questions I asked in the beginning, the Yellowstone caldera is a potentially world-altering supervolcano that could change life on the planet as we know it. It is not likely to erupt anytime soon, but we as a people should understand the possibility of natural disasters, especially when we live so close to it. These are the sources that I have for this presentation and for this speech. Thank you. Now if I can find the cursor.